Welcome to Energy Code ACE Title 20 Essentials, Steps to Adding Appliance Data. My name is Carolyn Richter, and I'll be your host today along with Steve McCarty. We're both from Energy Solutions, an energy efficiency and demand response consulting firm based in Oakland, California, and we're here on behalf of the statewide Codes and Standards program. The focus of this module is to explore the considerations and processes for adding appliances using MAE-DBS. We will cover using the online form to do a manual data submission. We'll also cover Excel upload, and we'll go over identifying and correcting errors in the submission process. After viewing this module, we recommend viewing a related module, Demonstrations of Adding Appliances. This module will show you in action the procedures discussed in this module. This training is brought to you by the statewide Codes and Standards program, which is jointly managed by Pacific Gas and Electric Company, Southern California Edison, Southern California Gas Company, and San Diego Gas and Electric Company. This program is funded by California utility customers under the auspices of the California Public Utilities Commission.
Now let's look at how you can enter appliance data manually. We're now in the process of managing appliances. The first thing you need to do is download the certification packet for your appliance type to ensure that you have all the information you'll need to add that appliance. This module contains a demonstration that will walk you through step by step how to add appliance data for a new appliance. Only manufacturers and authorized third-party certifiers can add appliance in the MAE-DBS. If you do not now have a company account or user ID or uncertain how to access the database, please review the modules as part of this series, Registering and Managing Account, and Documentation for Adding Appliances to the MAE-DBS. Familiarize yourself with the data that is specific to the appliance that you're trying to add. Instructions, as we mentioned, are available in each certification packet. If you have only one or two editions, you may want to use the manual method for uploading appliances. Hover over the Applications tab on the blue ribbon menu. The menu will open to submit appliance data. Check the box if you're submitting data for Title 24 as well as Title 20, and then select the appliance category, the appliance type, and the type of data entry you'll be using, whether the Excel upload or manual. Then click Next to submit the declaration. In completing the appliance submittal declaration, the certifying company's name will be auto-filled. This is the name that you registered under in the MAE-DBS database. If you're submitting as a third-party certifier, search on the company and contact name to fill it in. For test laboratory, select from the list shown on the screen. This list includes test labs that you've used before to submit data. If your test lab is not on that list, click on Add to add the test lab that you've used to test data for this submission. Next, click on the declaration page, click on the e-signature, then click Next to continue to the appliance-specific data form. Next, scroll down, carefully read all the information in the declaration box. If you agree, click on Declaration, then fill in your e-signature, then click Next to continue to the appliance-specific data form. You'll be taken to the appliance data form. Select the action Add, and then simply enter appliance data, the model number, the manufacturer, which also will be auto-filled, brand, appliance-specific fields, and regulatory status. Then click on Save to continue. You'll be taken to the Submit Application screen. Your new appliance data will appear on the list. Carefully review the data and verify that the information is correct. If you want to add another appliance, click on the Add button. If you're ready to move on, click on Next to go to the validation screen. You'll be taken to the results list, which is the first stage validation. Appliances that show up in the Pass section have met the data format criteria and are ready for submission. Appliances that are in the Failed section will have to have errors corrected. Very important to note, as part of this process, you'll need to specify a certification date for your past appliances. That certification date is the date that your appliances will be publicly available for view in the MAE-DBS. Once you've entered your certification date, hit the Submit button to submit past appliances to the MAE-DBS. You'll immediately see a message that your information has been successfully submitted to the Energy Commission. You'll receive an automatic email receipt with the submittal number. Please note, this does not guarantee that your appliance has been successfully validated to the database. Your data will now go through a second validation process at the Energy Commission. You will hear from them within 30 days as to the success of your application. It's important to note, often the responses are much shorter than 30 days. Now it's time to check your understanding.
So now we know how to manually add appliance data through the online forms in MAE-DBS. But as we've mentioned a couple of times throughout these trainings, there are now two ways to submit appliance data through MAE-DBS. The second is adding with Excel Upload. So we'll go over that in the next couple of slides. Where we're at in the process is that we are still managing our appliances in MAE-DBS, and we want to add appliances using Excel Upload. So to get started with your Excel Upload, you'll need to make sure that you're entering data in the appropriate Excel template. As we've mentioned previously, each appliance type has an appliance-specific Excel template. So the instructions and the template are found in the appliance-specific certification packet, which you can access using the link on the screen. An important thing to note is once you're entering data into the Excel template, you can only submit up to 1,000 items per Excel file, and each Excel file can only contain one appliance type, so all entries in that file must be for the same appliance type, and they must be for the same manufacturer. You should only include a model once in a single file, and if you want to delete or modify data for a model that you've already submitted, we'll be covering that in a future module on deleting and modifying appliances in this series. And as a tip, if you're uncertain about how to find your certification packets with the appropriate appliance-specific instructions and Excel template, we recommend that you review the module in this series that covers documentation for adding appliances to MAE-DBS. So when you're ready to prepare the Excel template and you have it open for the first time, you'll notice, as highlighted on the screen here in purple, that there are some columns that are common to all appliances, and that is the regulatory status and the first four columns, action, manufacturer, brand, and model number. So really important thing to note is that for the manufacturer column and the brand column, the Energy Commission is no longer using manufacturer and brand codes. The manufacturer, no matter what you put in this file, will be overridden by the manufacturer name in your company information for your account. And the brand that you enter for each model in this file should be entered exactly how you want that brand displaying in the Appliance Efficiency Database. Now, as highlighted on the screen in green, this is just an example of one appliance-specific Excel template. So these columns will be appliance-specific. And the instructions for the requirements for each of these factors is located in the appliance-specific instructions found in your certification packet. Now on the sidebar of your screen, there are rules listed for the Excel template. These rules are also outlined in the instructions that you receive in your certification packet. And just to be clear on some of the things that I touched on the last slide, brand code is no longer being used by the Energy Commission. So when you're entering in the appliance-specific Excel template, you'll want to enter the full brand name as it appears on the appliance and that it is sold under, and that you want it displaying in the appliance efficiency database. So in order to submit appliance data using Excel Upload, you'll want to access the Submit Appliance Data screen. So go to Applications on the blue ribbon at the top of the screen and select Submit Appliance Data. This will take you to the Select Appliance screen, where you'll check the box if you're submitting data for Title 24 as well as Title 20, and then select from the drop-downs the appliance category, appliance type, and the type of entry. So in this case, we'll select Excel Upload, and then we'll click Next to continue to the submittal declaration. So in the appliance submittal declaration, you'll need to complete all the required forms. The certifying company will be auto-filled with the information in your company account. If you're submitting as a third-party certifier, you can select Search to find the company and contact name to fill in. To select a test laboratory for your submission, you can either select from the list, which will only be populated if you've already previously submitted appliance data and added a laboratory to your list. So if there are not any laboratories listed there, or if the laboratory that you've used for this appliance data is not listed, click Add and find the laboratory that tested this data. You'll then need to carefully read the declaration, which you should remember this is a legal agreement. Once you've read that, you need to indicate that you agree to all of those items on the declaration and fill out your e-signature. Once you're done signing the legal document, you click Next to continue to the upload. So continuing to upload will take you to the Upload Document screen. You'll need to select Choose File to specify the location of the prepared Excel document. Select the file from your saved files on your computer, and then click Next to review the appliance data list. So the appliance data list will now show, and it should show all of the appliances that you entered in the Excel document. So on the screen, there's only one displaying, which means that only one model number was entered into the document. You should select that model and verify that the information is correct. And if so, continue to add to upload another Excel file. So click Next to continue to the validation screen. So continuing to the validation screen will show you the results from the first stage automatic validation. You'll see all the models that have passed and all the models that have failed. Appliances listed in the Passed section meet data format criteria and are ready for submission. If you have any appliances listed under the Failed fields, you want to carefully review the errors and correct them before continuing with your submission. Below the Failed section is a link called View Failure Reasons by Category. So you can click that to view any issues related to the models that you've submitted. Once you've reviewed all your information and all your results have passed, you're ready to keep going. So the last field to enter on this page is the certification date. And as noted on the screen, the date you enter here is the date that the models will be displayed to the public. So you now have the option to submit data to the Energy Commission for display on a future date. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that a company will not be able to view any models submitted until the public view date. Once you've entered all the information and it's correct, click Submit to submit the past appliances to MAE-DBS. Once you've done so, a successful submission message will display on your screen. You'll also receive an automatic email that acknowledges the receipt and lists a submittal number that you can reference. An important thing to note is that this does not mean the data has been approved and will appear in the database. It still needs to go through the second stage manual validation. And you should see a response from the Energy Commission within 30 days, often much sooner. So again, after you receive the email acknowledging the receipt of your submission, Energy Commission staff will perform a second stage validation to confirm that all of the information meets the standards. Now, when the submission passes the second validation, or if an error is found in the submission, you will receive an email. It will either state that the appliance data has been accepted and tell you the date on which it will be appearing in the appliance efficiency database, or that the appliance data has been rejected and it will provide you with the reasons for why so that you can correct those and resubmit. And now it's time to check your understanding. Let's see how you do.
Let's take a quick look at the validation processes for correcting errors. If there are errors in your data submission, those records can be corrected. First thing you'll have to do is identify the errors. If there are only a few errors, you can use the manual on-screen form and re-input the data. If there are multiple errors, you can update the Excel file you used and re-upload it. In both cases, the first validation process is reinitiated. If there were errors in your data submission, the results screens with errors page will show. Click on View Failure Reasons by Category to identify where the errors in the submission occurred. A failure reasons list will display. It will give the specific reasons that a particular appliance failed. Note those reasons and then click on Previous. Next, you'll see a screen called Results Screen with Errors. To correct the errors, click on Select. Correct the data that was identified as being incorrect, then click on Save on the Appliance Data Form screen. Or, if you submitted data using the Excel spreadsheet, click Cancel, update the spreadsheet correcting the errors that were identified, then re-upload from the results screen. You'll be taken back to the results list for first stage validation. Appliances in the Pass section now meet the data format criteria and are ready for submission. As before, enter the certification date, then click on Submit. Now let's check our understanding.
Let's recap on what we've learned related to adding appliance data to MAE-DBS. Appliance data must be submitted online using MAE-DBS in one of two ways, either manually by filling in the online form or through an Excel template specific to the relevant appliance type. When the data is submitted, MAE-DBS will conduct an automatic first stage validation. If there are errors in the submission, MAE-DBS will summarize them, noting the reason for the failure. You'll need to then correct those errors before you can submit the data. Once appliance data is successfully submitted to MAE-DBS, Energy Commission staff will conduct a second stage validation. Once that is completed, you'll receive an email message telling you when your submission is accepted or asking you to correct any errors that the staff might have found. And with that, there are many resources available to you to help submit data, learn about Title 20, and comply.
Lastly, please give us your feedback. There's a brief evaluation survey that you can tell us what worked for you and what didn't work for you and what could be improved. You can return to this module at any time you want to review key points or access resources that were cited in this module. Thank you very much for your participation today.